ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow.
Starting the show?
I'd like to because we have a party. Okay. Basil and I have a party to go to.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to stand in the way.
I'll bring back Dwight Eisenhower party.
Okay.
Real Republican.
Okay. So we're going to open the show, and I'm going to say David A. Stevenson is here.
Better mention his name first.
Basil with his cat, and you're going to say something about Benghazi.
You got it.
So we just got to, this is what my vision is.
Yeah.
My vision is we take what we did there, at great expense to you and me, although it was fun, as I recall.
Did you see the 4 shows I put up in your house with the deer over our shoulder?
No.
That's up on Basil's...
but I thought the microphone was up.
That was a different one. We sat at the other end of the room when the microphone didn't work. We did 4 shows, 4 half-hour shows.
We had a microphone was going like this with all these hockey players, and the mic wasn't even on. It was like we were playing TV.
But the directional mic from the camera caught it.
Yeah, I know, but it was like
it was weak. You're right.
Anyway,
but it was great though.
Okay, so no, but here's what I'm thinking. So we've got 2 hours of hockey content, and I want to squeeze it down to 1 hour of a good show and play it all that night.
Okay.
And then this other stuff you said of me and you, did that go on over the air, or this is on your website?
Both.
Oh, it did go on over the air.
It's on YouTube.
Okay. Can you send me a link?
Oh, it's been on the air here a long time ago. No, go look. You know where Facebook is. You know Facebook.
I know Facebook.
You've heard of Facebook.
I have heard of it.
Okay. Yeah. On Facebook.
Oh, by the way, Victor's not going to be here.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, okay.
On Facebook, you go to Basil BuddhaCat.
Okay.
B-A-S-I-L, just like Basil Rathbone. That's who he's named after.
Okay.
Some powder?
Marty, did you put your mic on?
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, but
I'll get home and Kristen will say, who you been messing around with that you got her makeup on your face?
Are you just doing a mic check?
Just the,
oh, okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U,
V. You know, I'm 61 years old and my skin hasn't shrunk, hasn't got no wrinkle yet. This isn't going to wrinkle it, is it? Good.
I'll give you some stuff to take it off with if you want.
Kristen probably has some stuff.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
I wanted to see it, actually.
We are dedicated to reversing the escalating gun violence epidemic in this nation through introduction of smarter
not in Connecticut.
gun laws and broader cultural
Not in
change.
Connecticut. Connecticut gun homicides are down. They were cut in half from 2 years ago in Connecticut.
Our membership is open to anyone who wants to make this nation a safer place for our families. One of the strategies to bring about change is to build bridges between rural and urban.
That's why I wear my hair like that.
Victims and communities that have to continue impacting
I don't have any
gun
whiskers to
violence.
cover
The
over
groundswell
hardly,
of
so.
support and the ever-growing chorus of voices demanding change.
Yeah, you know in Connecticut...
Safety and well-being of children and community above all else is powerful.
You do know that in Connecticut, gun homicides are half of what they were 2 years ago. You do know that, right?
I do not.
Well, you do now. You do know now. Yeah, 2012 to 2014 went from 132 to 65, something like that.
Do you know anything about the unconstitutional invasion of people's homes in Wisconsin that voted with the governor?
All I know is there's probably 65 people alive in Connecticut from last year alone that probably wouldn't have been alive if not for those gun laws.
Okay, well, great. Then I guess we're all for it.
Facts. It's facts.
Okay, so you got to be like really quick.
Yeah, I will. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
You got it.
Okay, and then you'll take this with you.
Yes, I will.
Okay, all right.
The cat will come with me.
Okay. Okay.
Catfishing. catfishing. See if I can reel in one of them catfish.
You have your
I'm taking one quick look at my camera. That's mic check. Okay. Basil, what does that mean? Yep. Okay. If it were like a quick, it would have been quoting him for about 10 minutes worth. It's only when he goes with those that I get, okay. Okay. Catfish. Oh God, now I can't touch my face because it's going to have crap all over my hands. Oh God. You want to be made up? You're just a two-dimensional avatar of yourself. You know what? You got the microphone on your ear. You got your P-A-N-W root beer. And how do we know the P-A-N-W root beer is Basil's root beer of choice? Look in his litter pan. And what's Basil's favorite candy? Tootsie Roll. And how do you know Tootsie Roll is Basil's favorite candy? Likewise, look in the litter box. We do commercials on our show. We do commercials on our show. We have corporate sponsors. We're going for Budweiser.
Sheriff, we do something we call hot seat. Sheriff will come around, unmic you, and walk you out, because she's bringing another person in.
Okay.
So you can obviously pick your stuff up.
Yep.
At that point, I'm going to be setting on camera one.
And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make it easier, and I'm going to take this and put it on the outside, because you really can't. It'll come off easier that way. I'll put it on my tie.
Yeah, that you can't. This is
Kind of hide it behind my tie a little bit.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
that's
good.
showing me.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know that.
Yeah, I backed it up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this hot seat is sort of like Johnny on the Pony. It's sort of like, what's the game? What's the game where you get up and you walk around and everybody tries to sit down?
No.
And you short one seat?
No.
No,
Is
she's
Marty
just
gonna
gonna
have
walk
two
in.
people at the same time?
Pardon?
Is Marty gonna have two people at the same time?
Should. But you know how that.
He's learning to be flexible, like my shows. He's learning to be much more flexible because on my show we're always flexible, and we're teaching him to be
Yeah,
flexible.
be careful when you're getting up, because you are right on the edge.
In college, I was in a little play called Orphe, which was a redoing of the Orpheus story.
Mm-hmm.
And in this story, I played a police inspector. And my makeup my hair was all poofed up, and out like Albert Einstein, sort of. And I played the police inspector. I came up on stage at one point, and I think it was the first act. Sat down, and bink, right off.
Wow.
What do you do when that happens? Well, you picked up the chair, put it back up. I got back up, I sat down, and you pretend it didn't happen. Again, bink. I got back up. At that point, you have to do something. You can't just ignore it at that point. So I got up and I said, "Is that any way to treat an old man?" It worked. People seem to like it. I mean, not that I wanted to fall off the stage, But once it happens, what do? You got to do something.
Where's your L?
Right here, the other one I lost.
Oh.
It's probably outside next to my car, so I had to borrow it. So I have to go from C. Rand Paul. This is sort of like, remember back in first grade where we read those books, Dick, Jane, and Sally?
See Dick.
See Dick run, see Sally run Spot run,
Yeah.
ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
This is a version, a first grade version of explaining about
Found
Rand.
it.
Thank you. Explaining about Rand Paul. See Rand Paul.
Yeah.
And we did 2 shows where Rand Paul was our guest. Kind of our guest. And we took the letters in C. Rand Paul and we kind of jumbled them around and got some interesting things about Rand Paul.
Go ahead. Thank you, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you. Sheriff's gonna make you up or put
Am I gonna catch
So
you
you're gonna have, them at the same time?
Oh, that's Basil's stuff.
No.
That's Basil's
Angela's
props.
gonna go next. We're gonna do.
Basil's not going to
I
be
have
using,
2 bangles.
He
not
said he's
tonight
gonna
for
do
Basil, the
quick.
props. It's just Basil in the raw. That's Basil, by the way.
When that's done,
I have Schmoby and Schmeeby.
I gotta tell Marty.
We also have, well, Basil's
Shake his
dead.
hand and say,
Basil died 3.5 years
Thank you
ago.
for coming, thank you for that.
But we have 2 other cats.
And we'll take this stuff off that way.
Yeah, well-
Then we'll talk to Angela, and we're saving the best for last with Dr. Levine.
yeah, you wanna do her for 20 minutes, right?
Yes,
So
if that.
20, 25.
If that.
You're gonna be on about 30 minutes. Okay.
And Dr. Levine, what are 3 things you want to talk about? I know 3. Big pharma, genetic drugs, about these like,
Generic.
The doctor rating services.
yeah, the doctor review
Right,
sites.
the-
And we should quote your thing on it.
We'll bring that up, and
Yeah.
the Sunshine Act, I wanted to talk about that rock
Yeah,
coin.
Big
how they
Brother
launder-
is watching,
And how rock coin launders the money, I'll go through that.
and then how people are.
I could write that show in reverse.
Did you do the makeup yet?
Yeah,
No, I didn't. Doctor.
not on Dr. Levine yet.
Come on, doctor, powder your nose, you'll be great. And then, yeah, the Sunshine Law, just say no to the money from Big Pharma, because they're gonna know about it. Just say no, that's what you guys said, right?
Walter Jones,
This is supposed to mean something?
representative from North Carolina, libertarian guy. When they passed the pharma law
Yeah.
in 2005,
By the way, we're going out for beverages after, you can stay if you want. Come on, man,
Walter,
don't worry about it, come on, you live a little, you know.
Maybe I
You
will.
could get hit by a meteor.
Maybe I
driving
will.
home.
So
You
Walter
know,
Jones,
we should-
Walter Jones was the guy who swore up and down, he's a libertarian.
Yeah.
He hates government spending. He swore up and down he would never vote for that bill. Never.
What, the Sunshine thing?
No, the pharma bill, the one where they guaranteed the pharmaceutical companies an excess $1 trillion excess profits over 10 years.
Yeah,
He swore up and down he would never vote for the bill.
right.
Who's the Speaker of the House then? Tom from Texas.
Leahy?
No, from Texas. The guy that got caught doing
But
something.
Dr. Levine trained under Dr. Marty Heiser at a local school of medicine in home painting,
Okay.
and is one of the few physicians who knows how to wallpaper a heart.
Well,
Okay.
Walter Jones was a libertarian. He swore he would never vote for the bill. The Speaker of the House, a Republican guy, Tom,
So we can tell.
I can't think of his name, kept the vote open until 4 o'clock in the morning. He kept it open for an extra 6 hours so they could
He's in the pocket.
twist Walter Jones's arm to vote for the bill that he swore he would never vote for.
Okay.
His was the deciding vote.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a horrible bill.
All right,
$1 trillion over 10 years excess profits for the pharmaceutical companies.
Camera 2,
That looks good.
$1 trillion.
camera 2.
Okay, so we're going to start with you. Get this over with as quick as possible.
Prepare yourself,
Then
you'll
we're going
have
to talk
fun.
to Angela
David.
Johnson. Angela, we're going to talk about your trek to Washington, the victims of gun violence, NAA, which is Network Action Alliance.
Yeah.
Newtown, I'm sorry, Newtown Action Alliance. And I might ask you,
What
like,
need
you
to
know,
do
where were
when
you?
we hot seat you, you're gonna be in that seat, you're gonna have to do this. Because with this top up, it's hitting you right here, so we don't have a shot. You.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
Bob,
You're going to tell them about
What's up?
what do you know about doctors and
homicides are half of what they were.
Obamacare and that kind of
2014, they're
stuff?
half of what they were in 2012.
I feel
Okay.
it. I ain't really.
So you're
I'm
gonna,
not
he'll
getting
come
into
in
data,
with
just
Dr.
about the
Levine.
excursion.
Mike.
Good.
'Cause that's-
So you're gonna be joining us on the round table for the last thing. You're gonna join us on the round table for the last half. So bring him in with the doctor. All right?
Okay, we got.
2 minutes.
All right. This better be good.
Oh, you're going to love it. It's the story, it's the Benghazi story of the year. You will be so happy. It'll give you guys the most amazing ammunition against Hillary Rodham Clinton you could imagine. And you got my text about her name. You could get Hilton Dollar out of her name. Who wants to be associated with the Hiltons?
Okay, obviously.
You know, Paris and the rest of them?
Okay. You have a certain, like, I don't know,
Craziness.
humor, craziness, humor, and stuff like that. We take ourselves very seriously here on the Marty Heiser Show.
Well, Basil takes himself seriously. I'm the
I
crazy
know,
one.
but you're talking about a cat. This is like, I think, luckily we have a physician here who could maybe recommend a psychiatrist.
Marty, we've been down this road many, many a times.
Okay, did you find those interviews, though? All kidding aside.
No, you said Dave found them.
I know. Let's talk to Dave. And then
You
before...
said Dave said he found them, and that's great because I got you the first hour of the
Yeah, which is good.
But there's another hour somewhere out there in cyberspace, in that machine out there.
Okay. Angela Johnson. That's easy. Cheryl's friend is that school lady who's coming in next time, and Mike Mancini. Okay. And then so May 7th, we have to have all that stuff ready to go. By the way, you know the Whalers are leaving, right?
I heard all about it, but it happened before Dave said. Dave King said the whole thing happened a couple of years ago. They tried to throw him out,
And they came anyway.
and they worked it out. So they'll work it out again, Dave says. Don't worry about it. It's a non-story.
Okay. If not,
I'll take his word for it.
those are our,
Final hurrahs.
final hurrahs.
It's not because you don't think it's because I stepped in that trademark, do you?
You might have. You might have.
I fucked the whole team
Yeah,
up.
if you can slide it over just a little bit.
I just screwed the whole team up forever. Don't tell the owner, please. I don't want to be mad at me.
You're the one. You're the one.
I'm the one. I stepped in that Wheeler trademark.
Okay, make sure you take this monstrosity away.
Oh,
when
it's
you
going.
leave.
It's going.
Okay.
He and I have a party to go to.
Okay, okay.
A Bring Back Eisenhower party tonight.
All right.
You know Dwight Eisenhower, you know? You heard of Dwight Eisenhower, right?
Heard of him. I love the guy.
Well, you and I love him, both love him. But see, the thing is, he's nothing like the Republicans today, unfortunately.
He produced the
The
interstate.
Eisenhower interstate system.
That's right.
Nice, calm, easygoing guy. Just like that other president
He
from
smoked a lot of cigarettes.
just like that other president from Kansas.
He's-
Who's the other president from Kansas?
I forget.
Barack Obama.
From Kansas?
He grew up in Kansas.
I thought he grew up in Indonesia or Hawaii or something.
Kansas. His grandparents lived in Kansas.
Corner TV. Good evening and welcome once again to the Marty Heiser Show. We've got an incredible show for you this evening. We have one of the greatest cardiologists in the tri-state area, a Ridgefield resident named Dr. Levine, is going to come talk to us about Big Pharma and what's best for your health. By the way, the lines are open. It's 203-438-2003. In addition to that, we have Angela Johnson coming in from the Newtown Action Network. This is an organization of concerned citizens that grew out of the atrocity that happened in the Newtown schools going on over 2 years ago now. And she's going to talk about her work with some of the most impressive politicians you've ever met. And Angela is originally from Chicago, so I got that going for Angela. But before we do any of that, we are going to start the show with the thoughts, the ramblings of a cat. Yes, BuddhaCat, brought to you by David Stevenson. Now, many of you may know David Stevenson. And by the way, if you need a house bought or sold anywhere in this region, he's the man to see. But this is not commercial, public access radio, so I can't give him a plug. I'm just saying Google David Stevenson, realtor extraordinaire. But David, you called me this today, breathless, that your cat had something to say related to Benghazi, Hillary Clinton, and it was something important that the world wanted to know, and you chose this venue to share.
I did.
What is on your mind, and more importantly, what is on your cat's mind?
Or, more importantly, what's on the Scrabble board. Now I'm going to let you speak to the audience about this because it's going to be a little hard to see.
Okay.
But see, this is a Scrabble board.
Yes.
And you'll see at the bottom it says C. Rand Paul. Can't talk about that because that's on 2 shows we did recently. Look up Basil BuddhaCat on Facebook and you'll find the 2 shows where Rand Paul is our guest. Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. Having said that, up at the top, Marty will vouch for the fact that the Scrabble board says Benghazi scandal, yes. Correct?
Correct.
Well, you keep on talking for about 30 seconds.
Oh, and you're
Wow.
going to do something?
Yeah, something's
All
going
right,
to happen with these letters.
while he uses these letters, and I just want to know how the cat factored into all this.
The cat knows all.
And by the way, I just want to reiterate that this program is coming to your living room absolutely free of charge. So when we start with a cat and the musings of a Scrabble board, and by the way, this is live television, we are totally making this up as we go along. I really have no idea what my good friend, David Stevenson, is doing. But you know, there's sometimes in your life where you have a friend, maybe it's a family member, and everyone agrees that their grip on reality is very, what you might call, tenuous, holding on by a very thin cord. Many people that know my friend here, David Stevenson, have concluded that. Because really, when your best friend is a cat, and he's giving you messages through a Scrabble board about presidential nominees and in foreign relations catastrophes like Benghazi, well, connect the dots, as it were.
Enough.
Okay.
Now, my best friend actually is Marty Heiser, and Marty Heiser and I are both Eisenhower Republicans, meaning that we both think that Dwight Eisenhower is perhaps the best president in our entire lifetime. I would say yes. Yes or no?
I like Ronald Reagan, but I'll sign off with Dwight Eisenhower.
Okay, Dwight Eisenhower.
He brought Hitler to his knees. Played football at West Point.
Eisenhower Interstate, you
Eisenhower
mentioned.
Interstate. Gotta like him. Member of the Augusta National Golf Course.
Nice, low-key, middle-of-the-road guy, just like that other president that hails from Kansas. And who's that, Marty?
I forget who you're talking about.
It's a fellow by the name of Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. I thought it was from like Indonesia by way of Nigeria, but born in Hawaii.
You've been watching too much Fox.
He was born in Hawaii, I know that, because that's where his birth certificate's from, the much talked about birth certificate.
And his parents lived. His mom couldn't take care of him. His dad was non-existent. His mom couldn't take care of him. And so he went to live with his mother's parents in the great state of Kansas.
It's interesting you bring that up because we had a show 2 shows ago about abortion.
Yeah.
And the idea was that given a certain lady's circumstances, she has a right to abort her child.
Yes.
And I was thinking about
That's the Constitution says that.
Well, I don't know about that, but Roe versus Wade says that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the circumstances surrounding the birth of Barack Obama. Here was a born out of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
This lady had no means of support. Her husband had left and gone back to Nigeria. Which progressive, which liberal would not say that that woman had a right to terminate that pregnancy? But just think of it.
Probably.
You would have terminated the presidency of Barack Hussein Obama.
Probably the same person that would have said that it is horrible. What a horrible thing to make Mrs. Hitler not have that baby. Make her have that baby.
I'm not going to sit here.
Make her have that baby.
I'm not going to sit here and let you compare my president to that person. But my point is,
I'm comparing.
My point is that the progressive.
You missed my comparison, but that's okay.
My point is that the progressive
Yeah.
would say that the woman has a right to choose.
She does.
She does.
She does.
And so, who would have faulted that woman, given her circumstances? And now, she was left by this lady, a single parent, finds herself pregnant. Why not just abort the baby? I'll tell you why not.
She chose not to.
Because you cannot play God, and you may be aborting a future president of the United States.
She chose not to, and that's what Do you understand the word choice, what the word choice means? Look it up.
Absolutely.
It means you choose.
And you know
there
what?
There are two choices,
There-
yes or no.
And you know
have
what?
the baby, don't have the baby.
Guess what?
It's a woman's right to choose.
Yeah, guess what? Your mother and my mother chose life, and aren't we glad they did?
Well, I'll tell you, one guy named Adolf Hitler is glad his mother chose
Why
life
do
too.
you keep bringing up Adolf Hitler?
Because it's exactly the same. It's the same coin, the opposite side. It's a matter of
completely
choice.
disagree.
We all have the
just
right
had-
to
We
choice.
just had a program here
Choice.
with teenage mothers that
Choice.
finding themselves with unintended pregnancies,
Right.
and they did not abort their child.
They're
But
pro-choice.
they're pro-life.
They're
is what
pro-choice.
like.
They're pro-choice.
Well, great. They
They may-
chose life.
And that's a woman's right to choose.
It is. But you know what? It's interesting because you put up Rand Paul. Rand Paul asked the question, do you think a 7-pound baby in a mother's womb should be killed because the woman chooses?
Yes.
Really?
If she chooses. If she chooses.
I think that's grisly.
That's-
I think that's macabre.
Take it up with
and
the
I think that's death.
Take it up with
and
the
I reject it.
Take it up with the Supreme Court. They
Well,
ruled on
Supreme
it.
Court's been wrong before. You know when? When they said that slavery was legal. They did say that.
Yes,
so
they did.
just because the Supreme Court says something doesn't make it true. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
I would agree with that.
All right, so let's get back to your Basil, your cat, or whatever we're talking
Look
about.
up the word choice, then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, we took the letters, some of the letters in Benghazi scandal, yes. And look what we come up with. Here it is. Here's your story of the year. Look what we got out of it. Nazi bag lady. There you go.
Okay.
You've had 42 hearings in Congress about Benghazi and gone nowhere. The final report from Congress says nothing. Nothing was wrong. Nothing, nothing was wrong. Correct.
So you're defending Hillary Clinton right now.
No.
Oh, guess what? You know what should we do with
I'm only reading the Scrabble Board.
What we should do with these investigations is we should just go back and look at the emails. Oh, wait, that's right. Those emails, I'll be darned if they weren't,
Who cares about the emails?
Exactly. Who cares about the emails?
Here's the evidence. She's
Tell you
a
what.
Nazi bag lady.
That's just
She's a Nazi
ridiculous.
bag lady. Well, no, it isn't. It's no more ridiculous than
You've
42 investigations of Benghazi.
You've referred to a reprehensible genocidal political organization 4 times so far.
Which is almost as bad as the Republicans speak about her.
I don't-
Almost.
I don't-
Almost as bad.
I have no idea what you're talking about. As far as Hillary Clinton is concerned, basically the latest just came out today that her fund was sponsored by some Russian consortium that was trying to get some sort of nuclear material.
And I'm telling you
she's
that's
getting paid for play.
And I'm telling you
To it.
I'm telling you that small potatoes compared to Nazi bag lady.
I don't know. This is kind of silly. But you have your candidate.
Those 42 investigations weren't silly?
Yeah, you have your candidate, Hillary Clinton, and I really hope that you stick with her through thick and thin. She's your girl, and I think it's gonna work out.
Well, I'll tell you, she's going to be president if she runs.
Okay.
I would rather have Elizabeth Warren. I would rather have Jim Webb from Virginia.
Okay, well, look,
But-
you got Hillary. She's your candidate. Good luck with that.
Probably, and you can call her the next president of the United States because she will be if she runs.
Okay.
Not that I'll be totally happy.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Changing
this,
of the guard?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, here you go. You take that.
Okay.
I will take this.
Okay.
I will take this.
Next up.
And I will
And by the
take
way, David
BuddhaCat.
Stevenson has a television show called Progressive Soup.
And and also on Facebook, Basil BuddhaCat.
Absolutely.
Don't forget about Basil.
Okay.
Progressive Soup's on YouTube also.
So there's if you ever want to watch.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, Meow.